Nintendo started out as a little company in Japan, founded by Jiro Yamauchi on September 23rd in 1889 as Nintendo Kupaya. Based on Kyoto, Japan, the business produced and marketed Hanfuda cards. The name Nintendo is commonly assumed to mean leave luck to heaven. In 1902, Mr. Yamauchi started manufacturing the first Western-style playing cards in Japan. They were originally intended for export, but the product became popular in Japan as well as the rest of the world. And in 1933, the company was established as the Unlimited Partnership with Yamauchi Nintendo and Corporation. In 1949, Hiroshi Yamauchi was attended Waseda University in Tokyo. However, his grandfather died and he left to take office as the president of Nintendo. In 1951, the name of the company was changed to Nintendo Playing Cards Corporation. In 1959, the company started selling cards printed with Walt Disney characters, opening up a new market in children's playing cards, as resulting in a boom in the card department, and the company sold at least 600,000 card packs in a single year. Due to this success, in 1962, Yamauchi took Nintendo public. In 1963, the company changed its name to Nintendo Corporation and started manufacturing games in addition to playing cards. Nintendo now began to experiment with other ideas. Over the time between 1963 and 1968, Nintendo set up a taxi company, Love Hotel, chain food company, trying to sell instant rice similar to instant noodles and several other things. In 1970, a reconstruction and enlargement of corporation headquarters was completed. The company began selling the beam gun series, which employed to auto electronics, introducing electronic technology into the toy industry for the first time. In 1972, the first commercially available and video game console, the Magnavox Odyssey, had a light gun accessory, the shooting gallery. This was the first involvement of Nintendo in video games. In 1973, its focus shifted to family entertainment venues, which the laser clay shooting system used the same light gun technology used in the Nintendo Kusenju series of toys, and set up in abandoned bowling alleys. At the time, home video game consoles were extremely rare. Even the seminal Atari Pong console had yet to be produced. After experimenting reasonable success at this, Nintendo began developing its own video games, both for the home and for the arcades. In the 1970s, Mitsubishi Electronics produced joint development of the Color TV Game Machine. In 1977, they released the Color TV Game 6 and the Color TV Game 15. 6 and 15 indicates the number of games on it. In 1980, the company created a wholly owned subsidiary, Nintendo of America Incorporated. In New York, Nintendo began selling Game & Watch, the product line in Japan, the first portable LCD video games with a microprocessor. Nintendo artist Shigeru Miyamoto created the Donkey Kong game. The hero, originally called Jumpman, is a carpenter racing to save his girlfriend Pauline from a crazed ape. Jumpman was later renamed during the establishment of Nintendo of America's headquarters by Nintendo's company, in honor of Jumpman's resemblance to their office landlord Mario Segali. He was later renamed Mario. In 1981, Nintendo developed and distributed the coin-operating video game Donkey Kong. This video game quickly became the honest-selling individual coin-operation machine in the business. In 1983, the company built a new plant in Uji City and started work on home video game console, the Family Computer, or Famicom, employing of a custom CPU, custom processing unit, and a PPU, picture processing unit. In 1984, software titles were developed, one after another, from Excitebike to Super Mario Bros. And Metroid to The Legend of Zelda and Punch-Out! From these titles, it was Super Mario Bros. That quickly became a smash hit around the world. Studies at the time showed that children were more familiar with Mario as they were with Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny. In 1988, Nintendo of America unveiled Nintendo Power, a monthly news and strategy magazine from Nintendo that served to advertise new games. First issue published was the July/August edition, which spotlighted the NES game Super Mario Bros. 2. In 1989, the Game Boy was first portable handheld game system with interchangeable game cartridges is introduced in Japan along with Tetris. In 1990, Japan entered the 16-bit market by releasing the Super Famicom in autumn. Game Boy was launched in Europe and established what would become an astronomical worldwide installed base for the Nintendo handheld console. In 1992, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or Super Famicom, was launched in Europe in June. The console went to sell more than 46 million units worldwide. Japan saw this release for the Super NES Super Scope and Mario Paint with the Super NES mouse accessory. In 1993, Nintendo announced plans to develop a new 64-bit console, codenamed Project Reality, that would be the capital of 3D rendering fully 3D environments and characters. In 1994, Nintendo also claimed that the Project Reality would be renamed Ultra 64 in the US. In 1994, the Super Game Boy accessory was released, expanding the library of games that could now be played on the Super NES. Nintendo helped pioneer the development of the implementation of an industry-wide rating system in the United States. In 1995, Nintendo released the Virtual Boy in Japan. The console sold poorly, but Nintendo still said they had hope for it and continued to release several other games and attempted a release in the US, which was another disaster. In 1996, Nintendo 64 launched in Japan on June 23rd. Thousands lined up to be the first to experience the world's first 64-bit home video game system. More than 500,000 systems were sold on the first day. In 1997, in March, Nintendo 64 launched in Europe and sold 2.3 million in the first year. Nintendo introduced the Rumble Pack, which enabled players to feel the realistic vibrations contained in the game. In 1998, Nintendo introduced the Game Boy Color and the innovative device Game Boy Camera and Printer, bringing new life to the longest-running hit in the history of interactive entertainment. In 1999, Nintendo expanded the library of high-quality software with innovative titles such as Pokemon Snap and Pokemon Pinball, the later including a built-in rumble feature. Hits such as Mario Golf, Donkey Kong 64, and Perfect Dark were launched. In 2000, the Nintendo Game Boy became the most popular selling console ever as sales surpassed 100 million. Meanwhile, the Pokemon franchise continued to be a worldwide phenomenon, and Nintendo celebrated its success with a limited edition release of Pikachu Nintendo 64. Nintendo was a very big hit company. Nothing could stop it. Ever since the beginning, it's been around for the 20th century, and during the time, even with limitations, it still made the best games in history.